Umar Nurmagomedov didn't hold back when talking about his teammate Islam Makhachev's preparation for Jack Della Maddalena, saying that Islam isn't just coming into UFC 322 with one plan, but an entire alphabet of them.
He have, he don't have just one plan for fight, and he have plan A, B, C, and like all alphabet, D, E, A, everything, like if something not he couldn't do, he gonna try other one not good, he have next plan, and he's amazing fighter, and he's amazing friend, brother, and I think he will take this belt. I think he deserves.
Makhachev's upcoming clash with Della Maddalena on November 15th is already shaping up to be one of the biggest fights of the year. The former lightweight champion, who vacated his 155-pound belt earlier this year, has decided to chase new glory at 170 pounds. His opponent, the Australian sensation Della Maddalena, has been on a tear, defending his welterweight title with style and precision. Many see this matchup as the ultimate test of styles, a calm, composed striker against a relentless grappler known for his suffocating control.
Islam Makhachev has had some success against our Anzac fighters, Alexander Volkanovski, Dan Hooker. We're hoping that it will not be a 3-3.
Yeah, you want to get that win, We want to get it back for what better way than defending the belt, pound for pound #1. The plan is to blow the roof off MSG and stand my case in the history book.
Umar, who faces Mario Bautista at UFC Fight Night 262, has trained side by side with Islam for years and says the difference in power is striking. He's noticed that Makhachev, who's naturally filled out into the welterweight frame, now carries more strength and explosiveness than ever before. In his eyes, Islam has become an even more complete fighter, methodical, sharp, and stronger than anyone realizes.
Do you think he's very built well for welterweight?
Yes, he become a bigger, now we have more power, more than ever, and I think he's ready.
And the stakes are higher than ever. For Islam, this isn't just a new division, it's a statement. For Della Maddalena, it's the chance to defend home turf against one of the most dominant champions in recent memory. The storyline is as classic as it gets. The seasoned, calculating champion moving up in weight for greatness, taking on a young lion determined to hold his ground in front of the world. Even outside the cage, the ripple effects of Islam's move have been felt across divisions. Ilia Topuria, never one to hold his tongue, has been eyeing Makhachev for months. After knocking out Charles Oliveira at UFC 317, the Spanish powerhouse made it clear that he wants a piece of Islam. No, but only if Makhachev captures gold at 170. Topuria's ambitions are historic, with his sights set on becoming a 3-division champion. He's made it clear that if Islam fails to dethrone Della Maddalena, there's nothing left for him to chase in that direction. But if Makhachev wins, Topuria promises to rise again, setting up a potential super fight that could redefine UFC history.
Ამის დამარცხების შემთხვევაში დამარცხებულ ისლამთან გირჩევნია თქვა შემდეგი ბრძოლა თუ პირობითად გამარჯვებულ ცარუკიენთან.
მოკლედ ვერ გავიხსენე სიტყვა, მაგრამ ისლამი თუ დამარცხდა დაბრუნდეს დაღესტანში, თავის ფერმაში. თუ მოიგო კიდე წყალისა, ხო? ხო, წყალი მომწესოს.
Behind the scenes, Coach Javier Mendez has been one of the most impressed observers of Islam's transformation. When Makhachev first announced his move to welterweight, the adjustment wasn't easy. Years of cutting down to 155 had left their toll, and building up his frame took patience and precision. But over the past months, Mendez has watched him evolve into a true welterweight, leaner, stronger, and still every bit as fast. The coach couldn't believe how effortlessly Islam carried the new weight once his body adapted. The speed, timing, and technique that made him dominant at lightweight were all intact, now just backed by more power. Mendez even admitted that he doesn't see any reason for Islam to ever go back down. The Dagestani looks too comfortable, too complete, and far too dangerous at 170.
I watched him train, I watched what he was doing, and I was so impressed. And then he did his first sparring, and I was blown away. I was blown away how good he got, how well he adjusted to the weight. I was blown away. So I'm very confident in him, and regardless what anybody says, he's still #1 pound for pound in my eyes. So that's my guy, pound for pound #1, Islam Makhachev. And the new version of him is coming, you know, November 15th at Madison Square Garden, you know, and he will be the new welterweight UFC champion.
Meanwhile, other fighters on the UFC 322 card have their own takes. Carlos Prats, who's also fighting that night, believes Della Madalena's biggest weapon isn't just his striking, it's his composure. He's seen Jack remain calm under pressure, never breaking even when things get chaotic. To Prates, that kind of mental toughness is what might allow Jack to survive Islam's relentless style. If Jack keeps his cool and sticks to his rhythm, he might just be able to take the fight into deep waters where things get unpredictable.
The main event is also in your weight class, JDM and Islam. Who do you think is going to win that?
I think the favorite is Islam, but Jackie show like he grew up a lot as a fighter. Since he stopped fight now, he was a long time without fight, almost 2 years, and he got really good skills to fight Belal Muhammad, defense takedowns. So I think he's gonna win.
You think Jack is going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think he wins a decision, or do you think he stops him?
I think decision is really hard fight.
You think Islam stays at 170 or he goes back?
If he lose, I don't know. It depends how he feels during the fight. How close is the gonna be?
Yoel Romero shares similar admiration for the Aussie champion. He's watched Jack grow with each fight, smarter, tougher, and more composed. Romero respects how Jack blends aggression with control, never letting emotions take over. That balance, in his opinion, makes him a nightmare to prepare for. You can't rely on him making mistakes because he rarely does.
Yoel Romero gives his honest take. Yoel Romero just shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, and it's a must-hear. Romero believes that Maddalena, while being a big 170-pounder, might face a tough challenge against Makhachev's superior grappling. Do you think Jack's striking can beat Makhachev's grappling?
Charles Oliveira, who knows firsthand what it's like to be trapped under Islam's suffocating pressure, looked at the matchup with a more technical eye. Having faced Makhachev himself, Oliveira understands how overwhelming his control can be, but he also sees Della Maddalena as a fighter who doesn't panic. Jack picks his moments, chips away patiently, and doesn't waste energy chasing finishes. Oliveira finds the idea of the fight going into the later rounds particularly fascinating. If Jack can endure Islam's early storms and keep the fight going, he might be able to turn the tables in the championship rounds.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Isla vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Isla agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Stephen Thompson, the always calm veteran of the welterweight division, sees things from a different angle. He appreciates Jack's skill set, but questions the timing. Jumping from top contenders straight into a matchup with someone as dominant as Islam, in his eyes, is a massive leap. Thompson doesn't doubt Jack's abilities, but wonders if this step came too soon. With elite names like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Gary waiting just behind, Thompson thinks this could be a case of moving too fast, too soon.
Who do you think wins that fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena?
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was Shavkat Rakhmonov or Ian Gary or somebody that is right there who's really worked hard to get there, I'd be pretty pissed. Yeah. Because, you know, this guy, JDM, just got the title, and then he's giving somebody else a shot at what I've earned the right to have, you know, which is the title shot. Like, give JDM a shot at, you know, give him one or two more guys. If he beats them, then give him somebody outside the division. But I would be kind of pissed. I would be kind of upset that they're giving this guy immediately somebody from 155 division. Now, I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev. Bigger guy, somebody who won the title from somebody with a similar style in Belal Muhammad. Mm-hmm. I do believe Islam Makhachev striking is a lot better than Belal Muhammad's, but their pressure, their cardio, their wrestling background, fairly similar. Obviously, I think one would be better than the other, but he's faced somebody a lot exactly like him. So I think it would be a tough fight for Islam for sure.
Speaking of Gary, the young Irish contender has his own view of the fight. He points out that Jack is a natural welterweight, someone who couldn't dream of making 155 without hurting himself. That natural size advantage, Gary believes, could be a game changer. If Jack lands clean early, the fight could end abruptly. Gary sees it as a potential knockout waiting to happen, one that could turn the entire division upside down.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
From a wrestler's perspective, Merab Dvalishvili analyzed the bout with a mix of respect and realism. He knows better than anyone how dominant Islam's grappling can be, but he also recognizes that Jack isn't an easy man to take down. Watching Jack's last fight against Bilal Muhammad, Merab noticed how difficult it was for even one of the best pressure fighters in the sport to keep Jack on the mat. That kind of resilience, he says, could be the key to surviving Islam's wrestling-heavy game plan.
Islam, he's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second bout. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling. He's southpaw, he don't get hits, but he takes people down and he walks people down. And also we all see the JDM Bilal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight and Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible, it's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second bout.
Not everyone is convinced by Makhachev's new frame though. Philip Rowe is among those skeptical about Islam's size and physicality at welterweight. He thinks Islam's body still looks more suited for lightweight and that the difference will show once they start exchanging strikes. In Rowe's opinion, Jack's speed, accuracy, and raw power could break Islam down before the fight even gets to the championship rounds.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man? Chilling. Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Robert Whittaker, carrying the Australian pride into this matchup, fully backs his countrymen. Having competed in both welterweight and middleweight, Whittaker understands better than most how small differences in size and power can shift a fight. He believes Jack thrives in chaos, but stays disciplined through it, which makes him dangerous. Whittaker doesn't expect Jack to completely shut down Islam's wrestling, but he thinks if Jack can make Islam respect his striking, an upset could be on the horizon.
I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Gilbert Burns, one of the sport's most respected voices, offered perhaps the most balanced take. He sees the move to welterweight as potentially beneficial for Islam, freeing him from the punishing weight cuts that once drained his energy. A fresher, healthier Makhachev could be even more dangerous. Still, Burns acknowledges the threat Jack poses, especially with world-class grappler Craig Jones now helping him fine-tune his ground defense. Burns expects a high-level chess match between two elite strategists, a fight that could be decided by small moments rather than big ones.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right
division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Beneil Dariush, another top contender who's shared the octagon with Makhachev, sees this fight as a gamble. He respects Islam's composure and technical brilliance, but believes that once skill levels even out, physical attributes begin to matter more. That's where he thinks Jack might have the upper hand. The size, the power, and the pace to push Islam into uncomfortable territory. Dariush predicts that this fight will be the toughest mental and physical test of Makhachev's career.
Islam versus JDM. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I just feel like JDM.
Finally, Max Holloway summed it up best through a psychological lens. He sees Makhachev as the embodiment of structure and discipline, a fighter who follows a plan flawlessly, while Della Maddalena represents adaptability, someone who reads opponents on the fly and adjusts instantly. In Holloway's eyes, this isn't just a clash of styles, but a battle between order and improvisation, the calm technician against the creative problem solver. That's what makes it one of the most compelling matchups of the year.
Your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight?
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know. He's the #2 pound for pound in the world. You gotta respect that, but don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough fight. Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and when that match happens, I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack.
As UFC 322 approaches, the anticipation only grows. From teammates to rivals, from coaches to analysts, everyone seems to agree on one thing. This fight isn't just another title bout, it's a collision of eras, mindsets, and legacies. Islam Makhachev has already conquered one mountain, and now he's climbing another. Jack Della Maddalena, the young champion defending his throne, is determined not to let him plant a flag on his turf. Whether it ends in a tactical masterclass or a shocking upset, Madison Square Garden is about to witness a battle that could redefine what greatness looks like inside the octagon.